Welcome to another edition of Fours and Sixes. This is Chandra Prabhu, and I'm here to review the past couple of weeks in the 18th edition of the Indian Premier League. Starting off with the Gujarat Titans, they've started the week with a blast. They've breezed past the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Having Mohammad Siraj, who's just come to form at the right time. Going against his former team, the Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Sunrisers Hyderabad, getting his career best of 4 for 17. This is also another batting malfunction for the Sunrisers, with Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma failing to replicate it from last year. So this is also their fourth consecutive defeat, and that has put them at bottom of the table. So again, another talking point from that game is probably Sai Kishore and his growth as a off spinner. He's bringing in more variations into his game, and the 28-year-old from Tamil Nadu, has shown this season that that he's here for the taking, and with his different variations from over and around the wicket, and the possible introduction of the carom ball into his game is also maybe put him in the radar of the selectors for the Indian cricket team. Coming to the Royal Challengers Bangalore, although they've broken decade-long jinxes at places like Chepauk and Wankhede, they've not replicated that form here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, losing two games already, one against the Gujarat Titans and one against Delhi Capitals. Their batting spine, batting order of Phil Salt, Virat Kohli, Devdutt Padikkal, and Rajat Patidar have done well away from home. Containing the pressure and taking it into their stride. But although that is not the same here at the Chinnaswamy, although they had that really explosive start at the Chinnaswamy, scoring as many as 63 runs in about 4 to 5 overs, and but sustaining that effort in Chinnaswamy is something the Royal Challengers have ran problems into, with quick loss of wickets, and middle order not having enough firepower. Although they have Tim David, who's basically has done rescue acts at the Chinnaswamy, but it's still not enough for them to get past the scores of say 170 or 160s, which in a ground like Chinnaswamy is very low, because of the reputation it has for being a batting friendly pitch. So even the mentor of the Royal Challengers, Dinesh Karthik, has admitted that the curator is not really prepared a batting pitch for them. But the question here is how the likes of the Gujarat Titans, having the likes of Sai Sudarshan and Josh Butler, and Delhi Capitals with Bangalore boy KL Rahul, this basically taking the game by the scruff of the neck while chasing. That's something that needs to be looked into, and with a few more home games against the Punjab Kings, with the Chennai game coming in a month's time. So this is the home form for the Royal Challengers has become a concern now that they've lost more than half of their games at home. This is the loss against Delhi being the 46th out of 93 home games being played. For Delhi, it's basically they're delightful to watch. 4 games in a row, they've won all the games. It started off at a comeback win against Lucknow, basically where they had no chance, from breezing past opponents, just comfortably. So that is down to the broad scope of batters that they've had, in the likes of Faf du Plessis, Alex Stubbs, KL Rahul for that matter, and Ashutosh Sharma coming in as an impact player. They've performed, and they've come into form at the right time. For a franchise that has not won the IPL in their existence, even with skipper Akshar Patel's batting, and his role as as a batter and a bowler has also come in handy for the Delhi Capitals side. And with the bowling also, it's been brilliant. The amount of southpaws they have at the team, which has been previously discussed by other correspondents, the likes of Kuldeep Yadav and Akshar Patel and Mitchell Stark for that matter, and you have T Natarajan also waiting on the sidelines, who's also a very effective bowler. So the bowling has come out really well, and the youngsters in that team is the Vipraj Nigam from Uttar Pradesh has shown remarkable display, with ball and bat, and he has also carved himself a rare cloth of being that leggy who can bat, which India I feel have not produced so much so far. So Vipraj could be an upcoming star for me. And coming to the Chennai Super Kings, and this is probably one of their worst weeks in the franchise's existence. Gaining all the attention for the wrong reasons, for having lost 5 games in a row for the first time, and three at their fortress, the MA Chidambaram Stadium. Now, you can call that you can probably call that a lack of luck. You can call them being unlucky, because they've been situations where they've only been a ball away from victory, but maybe decisions from the umpire of that no ball against Punjab game could have cost them. But this also boils down to not picking up T20 players in their squad, and their recent loss against the KKR at the Chepauk. It was a painful display, to be honest, and the lack of big hitters, the lack of players who can up the run rate soon, the match winners. Basically, that I feel is something that is not being discussed much in the auction. It is more looked into how they're going to prepare the players for the pitch at Chepauk, and coach Stephen Fleming has himself admitted that they do not know how the pitch acts, and that is something of a concern. So for the batting spine, has shown little power, little spine, despite stand-in captain MS Dhoni telling that the openers have to have more of flair rather than power hitting, and they have to look into the batting other batters, because the loss of Rutraj Gaikwad is very dear, and he's been one of the only few performers in the team, and even his position was also been questioned. But his loss, due to an elbow injury, will cost dearer to the franchise, and it's time for them to look into other players, maybe the likes of Prithvi Shaw, Ayush Matre from Maharashtra, and Smaran from Karnataka. A few of the players that are reportedly under the radar. But it's time that CSK needs some proper T20 players to propel them to their former glories. And despite Dhoni coming in as captain, it was expected that he might save them from grace, like he always does, with his batting, with his leadership skills. But that match against the Kolkata Knight Riders, the holders, showed none of it. And with only 3 home games left, it's time that Chennai pick up their form and start winning games. Coming to one of Chennai's opponents from the past week is the Punjab Kings, which has shown that they can go the full Monty with their batting, and they've take up the aggressive route and just go full bazooka. And that is with the skipper Shreyas Iyer, who always ensures he has a good start for himself. And this is also about the openers there with Priyansh Arya, his the youngster from Delhi, who was scouted after his exploits at the Delhi Premier League, and his knock against Chennai, which came at the 38 balls and a century. He basically took the Chennai bowlers to the cleaners there. That way, that shows that they're not really trying to take it up patiently, take up the calm approach. They're here to go up the full Monty, and that shows in the way that they've planned the auction. With the amount of money that they've had, the youngsters like Priyansh Arya and Suryan Shegde and Shreyas Iyer, and your big hitters like Marcus Stoinis, although he has not shown much of it yet, but it is yet to be seen how it's gonna take place. And with the bowlers like Ashdeep Singh and all those players, also performing really well. I think Ricky Ponting here has assembled a good enough squad, a solid team to at least take the Punjab Kings to the playoffs, if not the title itself. And also, they are one of the few teams, also looking to get their hands for the first time on the IPL title. And coming to another explosive team is the Lucknow Super Giants. Sans Rishabh Pant, the batting lineup of Mitchell Marsh, Nicholas Puran, they kept exchanging the orange cap between themselves, and kudos to them. They've basically also, you know, like they've gone the full explosive mode. And with Nicholas Puran again, he's reinvented himself as a batter. Despite being offloaded by the likes of Rajasthan and being retained by Lucknow Super Giants. But the question marks are all over the skipper Rishabh Pant, who's been paid a hefty amount of 27 crores. That's the record in the IPL, and his form is also something of a question mark. And his batting order, his position in the middle order is also being questioned, because although he has solidified himself in the red ball setup, his white ball chances are slowly fading away, considering the T20 World Cup coming next year. So Rishabh Pant, I think, if he were to get back that form of what he's known for, I think it's time that he puts himself in the opening places along with Mitchell Marsh. But the current pair of Aiden Markram and Mitchell Marsh seems to have delivering dividends for the Sanjeev Goenka run side. But if you were Rishabh Pant, you would want to get in some runs and probably show the selectors that you're in for the running for the Indian cricket team in the T20I format. So that's about the Lucknow. And finally, about the Rajasthan Royals, Rahul Dravid's men have basically come on a two winning game streak, and that is extinguished basically by the Gujarat Titans, highly flying Gujarat Titans. Jofra Archer coming into form basically sent a message to the league saying that he's here and he's probably going to bring back that form he had in the 2020 and 2021 season. And then you come to Mumbai Indians as well. Mumbai, although we know that they've always have that starts where they lose their first two to three games, and they do, and then they pick up form in the course of the season and somehow get into the playoffs. It's been a pattern, but with other teams like trying to solidify themselves in the top of the table, I think it's time MI needs to up their game. And then few players have actually turned up, especially with likes of Hardik Pandya, the skipper, and Tilak Verma, who have basically put in a late bid at that game against RCB, despite losing it by a from very small margin. So that way, I think Mumbai needs to get their game back up, especially Rohit Sharma, whose IPL form has been in tatters basically for a number of years, and his role as an impact sub has also taken him out of the core of, not the core, maybe in a game setup for that matter. It seems like Rohit Sharma is someone who's been told to take a step back, and is also on that back foot. So that way, I feel Rohit Sharma needs to get back in it and try, start reinventing himself and find his long lost form for the Mumbai Indians. And that's pretty much all about the teams here. And I like to show you the games that you need to look forward to. And those are two games played by Punjab Kings in the course of next week. And that is the first game being Punjab Kings and the Kolkata Knight Riders, which is played on April 15th. And now with Kolkata Knight Riders in hot and cold form, this game could be something that could define their season, because Punjab Kings are someone who are also really on really good form, and this will be the test for Ajinkya Rahane's men. Although he would be thankful that the likes of Sunil Narayan and Rinku Singh slowly coming to form, and the concern is still with the bowling there. But bowling except Sunil Narayan. So that way, Kolkata Knight Riders will also look to up their game and try to find some consistency in the league. So that way, Punjab Kings will be a defining test for them. And coming back to to the next fixture that you need to look forward to is the RCB Punjab Kings game at the Chinnaswamy. Yet another home game for RCB. Although it might seem like they are sweating at the prospects of playing in front of the home crowd again. This game will also be another interesting game to look forward to because of Punjab Kings players, what they can do away from home as well, taking the game by the scruff of its neck. And RCB, this getting their home form is something very important for a team if they need to win the IPL. And I think again, Punjab Kings seems to be something of a litmus test for a few teams in the middle of the table. And I think RCB's home game, this might be something that should start changing their season, although they've done really well away from home so far. And coming to this game will be played on the 18th of April, and the next game is the battle in the lower half of the table, that is Mumbai Indians and the Sunrisers Hyderabad. There is no better side than two teams trying to get their long loss, get their win after a long time, and there's no better game than the Mumbai Indians and the Sunrisers Hyderabad. And Sunrisers will also look to emulate their form that they had last year, especially with the likes of Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma. And only the few performers like Nitish Kumar Reddy, trying to get the save the team's name. You know, they're also expected to go about with and improve the game. And if the Mumbai Indians again back home, they'd also want likes of Surya Kumar Yadav and Rohit Sharma, and with the return of Jasprit Bumrah also is there. Bumrah, it should be a really good game, and the names there are also really exciting, and the fact that these world class names are trying to get their team to a much needed win is something is a mouth watering prospect in my opinion. And finally, it's another uphill battle. It's between the Gujarat Titans and the Delhi Capitals, and this game is expected to be, the standards in these games are something, only you could look it up. So the players that are the names that you can think of, Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, Josh Butler, Rashid Khan, Siraj, and with the possible entry of Kagiso Rabada from his absence due to personal reasons. This also has a potential to be one of the big games of IPL, considering their form, and with the Delhi Capitals, with their perfect form. This will also be a very crucial test, for their form over the course of the season, with the likes of Faf du Plessis, Akshar Patel, KL Rahul, and Mitchell Stark. All these big names at form. Trying to lock horns. It's yet another exciting game to look forward, and this could potentially define the IPL season. With unlikely names like Delhi Capitals and Gujarat Titans. Trying to be one of the mainstays in the playoff races and potentially the IPL title. So I feel this game, which is played on the 19th of April, could be a defining game in the season. And that's it for fours and sixes. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next week.